Hi everyone, I just wanted to jump on here and I thought it would be useful to give you my thought process on the case of Jose. I read through most of your responses and feel like a lot of you had things right on point with what I would come to as far as an initial assessment on Jose, but some of you were somewhat off on things, and I expected that. You guys are in your bachelor's degree, so I don't expect you to have this stuff completely down. But I wanted to give you my insight into the case of Jose, so you can kind of see what my train of thought is, given my experience and how long I've been doing this. You can kind of get an idea of what a full-time therapist thinks of Jose. So here we go. Your first question in the response was to arrive at a mental health diagnosis and substance use disorder diagnosis for Jose. So initially I would be looking at, and you will see here in one of the paragraphs where it kind of leads you into what we should be looking for as far as a diagnosis when they say that in group therapy, the counselor is led to believe that he might have a personality disorder because of his tendency to monopolize the group, talking about himself at the expense of other group members. When talking about himself and his feelings, he was often superficial, so nothing deep. Everything was kind of surface level. During intense emotional moments in the group process, Jose had blatant personal disregard for the feelings of others, often interrupting them to talk about himself. He was frequently late for the start of groups, so he had a lot of disrespectful behavior to the social norms. So with this, given some of his comments that he made about the lady that he hit, about she's old anyways, calling her names, things like that, I would lean towards a diagnosis of antisocial personality disorder. A lot of you also mentioned narcissistic personality disorder, and I would also agree with that. I think he meets criteria for both. Both don't have to be there. I am a big fan of the least diagnosis to capture the whole picture as possible. I think we can go way overboard with diagnosing. And really you're just trying to capture the best possible snapshot of what Jose may be experiencing. So neither narcissistic or antisocial are incorrect. He meets both. He probably has more of like a combination of both. In the DSM-4, that would have been called not otherwise specified. In the DSM-5, it would probably just be personality disorder. It would probably fall into a cluster B personality disorder. So that's the mental health diagnosis. The information I need to better diagnose something that's maybe not a personality disorder, more like anxiety, bipolar, depression kind of stuff, I need way more historical information. I need to know about his family. I need to know about his trauma history. I need to know about family history of mental illness. I need to hear symptoms of anxiety, depression, things like that. And I'm not hearing that in this case study. So that is the information I'm looking for, that I would need more to better be able to diagnose any other mental health conditions. Substance use, I would go with an alcohol use disorder severe. I would also go with a cannabis use disorder severe. I think both of those diagnoses are fit for Jose. He's definitely presenting with issues revolving around both. Individual counseling standpoint, discuss how you would best handle Jose's therapeutically and which approach you would be most likely to use. I would probably be using a CBT approach with him. I think there's a lot of distorted thinking going on, and so attacking some of the thinking errors and helping him understand how his behavior is related to some of the ways he thinks. I think moving into some other forms of therapy after that would be appropriate. bit. I think he's probably got a pretty significant history of trauma, if I were to guess. So some trauma focused care would probably be in store for him as well. But first, we need to attack some of that distorted thinking and really get him prepared for that kind of more deeper work. So there you have it. There's my interpretation of the case of Jose. Hope that was helpful. Definitely ask me questions if you have any.